Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm checking in with you at the Black Financial Channel. I'm in the car. We're actually on our way to Los Angeles. I'm doing some business out there, and we're actually going to run a half marathon race. So I'm looking forward to that. I wanted to talk quickly about a story I read in CNN Business about Facebook removing 2.2 billion fake accounts, which is a really surprisingly large number because there's only 2.38 billion active users on Facebook. So for them to remove 2.2 billion accounts is pretty huge. And for comparison, Facebook disabled about 1.2 billion fake accounts in the previous quarter and 694 million between October and December. And so basically, according to Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg says that the health of the discourse is just as important as any financial reporting, so we should do it as frequently. So it looks to me like they literally have people out there that create, apparently they use an example where they said that, there are programs where people might create like 100 million fake accounts, and then they're taken down right away, most of them where they don't hit anybody. They said 25 out of every 10,000 content views, such as videos or photos, were things that violated their violence and graphic content policies. They're also dealing with the sale of illegal drugs and firearms on Facebook, and so they're trying to be proactive about that. I guess they're trying to keep a clean platform. The big area that has been affecting black people the most, because y'all know that we're not the ones that are selling the dope or the firearms and all that usually. The big area that's affected us is their policy on hate speech. And they mentioned that hate speech has been particularly challenging for Facebook. The company's automated systems have a hard time identifying and removing hate speech, but the technology is improving. The percentage of hate speech Facebook found, Facebook said it proactively, meaning users reported it, rose to 65% in the first quarter, up from 51% in the third quarter of 2018. They said artificial intelligence can't really understand context very well, according to Joseph Osofsky, Facebook VP of Global Operations. He says context is key when evaluating things like hate speech. So it's good that Facebook is starting to pay attention to context when it comes to hate speech. A lot of black people have been banned just for, quoting Malcolm X or, talking about racism and things like that. And that's one of the reasons for, the explosive growth of platforms like Black Enough, which is actually spelled on my shirt, which is our platform now that we created as kind of an alternative. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's an alternative, for those who are tired of Facebook. The Minister Louis Farrakhan was banned for alleged hate speech, which I thought was ridiculous. But anyway, they also said they're going to start piloting a program where some content reviewers will focus on hate speech. The goal of those reviewers will be to have a deeper understanding of how hate speech manifests and make more accurate calls. I think that's fine. The problem, though, is that the political disposition of those who are making the evaluations is going to play a part in what they decide is hate speech or not. So given that, black people are, that we are a minority, in terms of numbers, we're a numerical minority. We're not minor in our voice or in our mission, our passion, but we are minorities in the sense that we don't have the same economic and social power as the people that run Facebook. I think that if you have a bunch of reviewers that are all liberals, then they're going to pretty much be more likely to define hate speech to be those who are conservative, those who have conservative views. Or if the majority of your reviewers are white, they're going to have an issue with a lot of the things that are stated by black people. So I think that from a business standpoint, Facebook's move to clean its platform is kind of like making sure they don't turn into MySpace, which I think is a good move. I think from a hate speech standpoint, I think they're still going to keep getting it wrong. And their biggest challenge to me I've seen is the lack of due process. I know that when we lost our page that had 600,000 fans on it, we messaged Facebook several times to tell them, like, hey, you made a mistake, and they didn't reply. So it's one thing if you reply and you say we reviewed it and it's still an issue. It's another thing if you don't reply at all. So Facebook has no due process in place to protect those who are unjustly eliminated from the platform. So and also their heavy reliance on user reporting is an issue too, because if somebody hates you, or if you say something that pisses off white people, then a bunch of white folks are going to report you for hate speech. Or if you piss off You know, if you have black people that are pissed at you, same thing. So, you know, I don't really know if I have a lot of faith in their process. That's why, you know, we're pushing for the growth of Black Enough, you know, which is growing very rapidly. And that's going to be a safe haven for those who are afraid of being banned from Facebook. Now, from going back to the business tip, I'll tell you a quick story. I actually met the guy who co-founded MySpace. I met him. I was meeting with this billionaire, or a guy who's almost a billionaire. And one of the things that he talked about was, where I asked him, I said, what happened to MySpace? It was so strong. Like, how did it disappear? And he mentioned the acquisition. I think they were acquired by Rupert Murdoch, and he said that they screwed it up entirely. And eventually MySpace became almost like a digital garbage can. It just became this horrible place that wasn't any fun. Nobody wanted to be there. And I think Facebook is afraid of that. Another thing that Facebook is afraid of is regulation. I think with the elections coming up, Facebook is making all these deletions to hopefully head off any government intervention that's sure to follow eventually, regulation that's sure to follow if it is concluded that Facebook is being instrumental in shaping elections. If, you know, Russians or whoever, you know, bots from other countries, Chinese, you know, companies become very good at manipulating U.S. elections by playing off of the divisions. You know, for example, racial divisions were used heavily by the Russians to get people fired up over the election. You know, then if Facebook is found to be a cause of that, then Facebook will be subject to lots of regulation at some point. And if you go read that article in the New York Times where Mark Zuckerberg's buddy, who co-founded Facebook, where he said the thing that scares Mark is regulation, and I agree with him. But I think that's exactly what Facebook needs. Facebook is a utility. They should be regulated. They need to be stopped, because I think that much power in the hands of one person it rarely leads to good things. So if you want to know who the people are that concern me the most as far as corrupt power that's in the hands of the few, it's not as much Donald Trump as it is Mark Zuckerberg. So that's my 2 cents on it. Now, from a financial standpoint, Facebook's been a great investment. I've made money from my Facebook investment, so it's a mixed bag, right? Facebook, you know, when you analyze anything, it's not going to be black or white. It's going to be shades of gray. Facebook is shades of gray, but it's dark gray. Let me just be clear about that. Very dark gray. So anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you subscribe at the Black Financial Channel, theblackfinancialchannel.com. That's how you get back, theblackfinancialchannel.com. Also, if you want a free e-copy of my book, It Takes a Village to Raise the Bar, you can go to drboycewatkins.net. That's drboycewatkins.net. So I'm out of here, guys. Take care. Have a good day. I'll see you soon.